Welcome, everyone. I'm Moira Day. I'm head of the Department of Drama. I want to thank you for attending the opening event for our ceremonies. Please be aware we will be recording this event. Again, welcome to June and to the final celebrations of our 75th anniversary season. Whether you performed in Act 1 from 1945 to 1970, Act 2, 1971 to 1995, or Act 3, 1996 to 2020, please check out and save our series of lectures, reunions, and special events to celebrate 75 years of us and creating theater together in Saskatchewan, and to talk with students, in fact, who'll be taking us forward into Act 4 from 2021 on. Also, please join us for the final play of our 75th anniversary season, Kevin Kerr's Poignant and Haunting Unity 1918, as directed by Alumni director Sky Brandon. I'd like to give our acknowledgement. As we gather here today, we acknowledge we're on Treaty 6 territory and the homeland of the Métis. We pay our respect to the First Nations and Métis ancestors of this place and reaffirm our relationship with each other. Now, question and answer instructions. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see a question and answer tab. If you click that, a question and answer box will pop up. Please feel free to submit any questions you have for Dr. Coates under the question and answer at any point during the event. There will be time at the end of the event for the interviewer and Dr. Coates to address audience questions. We will not be using the chat function of Zoom today. If you'd like to see a live transcript of this event, please select that option from the box at the bottom of your screen. The show subtitle option will show you subtitles. The view full transcript will show you a sidebar of the full transcript. I'd now like to introduce Dean Bonham-Smith. Dr. Peter Bonham-Smith is Dean of the College of Arts and Science and a professor in the Department of Biology. As a biologist, her research focuses on how plants handle stress, including heat, cold, drought, and disease. Dr. Bonham-Smith previously served in the college's Vice Dean of Science. She's appointed Dean of the College of Arts and Science in 2017.
Thank you, Moira. And welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here tonight. And congratulations on the 75th anniversary of the Department of Drama. This occasion is historic, not just for our university, but for Canada and for the Commonwealth. The Department of Drama launched a new era as the first department of its kind in 1945 and is still delivering innovative theatre and teaching practices to this day. This department and all the people in it have profoundly shaped the artistic landscape, not just of Saskatchewan, but also of Canada. The students and alumni of the Department of Drama are a very special community within our college. In studios, workshops, and rehearsals, you form a unique bond that continues long after your graduation. We are not only celebrating 75 years of history, we are celebrating all of you. The relationships you have built and maintained, as well as the positive impact you have had on the communities in which you live and in which you work. You are part of a global community of more than 450 Department of Drama alumni and tens of thousands of alumni of the College of Arts and Science and the University of Saskatchewan. All of this is truly worth celebrating. Although we can't meet together in person this year, I am thrilled to see everyone gathering virtually tonight. I hope this month's events are an opportunity for you to rekindle memories and reconnect with old friends and colleagues, young and old. Remember, wherever you are in the world, you always have a home in the College of Arts and Science. So please sit back and enjoy the celebration. A special thank you to our two alumni guests who are joining us this evening, Jeff Rogstad, Department of Drama, class of '85, and tonight's guest of honor, Kim Coates, Department of Drama, class of '81, whose loyalty to drama and the university knows no bounds. We greatly appreciate, We greatly appreciate you both taking the time to join us tonight for this special occasion. I would now like to introduce Dr. Peter Stoychev, President and Vice Chancellor of the University of Saskatchewan. Peter began his career at USask in 1986, and after serving as an English professor, a vice dean, and dean of the College of Arts and Science, he was appointed the 11th President and Vice Chancellor of the University of Saskatchewan in 2015. Peter has just started his second term as President and Vice Chancellor. Peter, the mic is yours.
Thank you very much, Peter, and good evening, everybody. I'm told that there are hundreds of people on this call, so welcome everybody, and it's a true testament to how everybody loves the Department of Drama and how formidable its impact has been. I want to thank you for allowing me to say a few words about the 75th anniversary of the department, since it's the first Department of Drama in the country, and as we know in the Commonwealth, saying something on the occasion of the 75th anniversary is uncharted territory. No other drama department in any of those countries has yet celebrated such a milestone. And I want to acknowledge right from the beginning the vision of Emrys Jones, the first prof in drama at the University of Saskatchewan. His dream, as Dwayne Brenna has called it, you all know his book that led to the department's growth and influence. So I want to acknowledge the many department heads, including Emrys Jones, who played such an important role, including Moira, including Dwayne, and the incomparable Henry Wolf, who I think I know is on this call as well. I've often said when I was Dean of Arts and Science and then as president that there isn't a visual artist in this province or a musician or a music educator or a theater professional who has not in some way been influenced directly or indirectly by our fine arts departments. And the place occupied by the drama department in this city and in this province and in this country and well beyond is stellar. Alumni include our good friend Kim Coates, hi Kim, and stage luminaries alongside him such as, and the list is long, I'm going to offer an abbreviated one, Francis Hyland, Eric Peterson, Susan Wright, Sharon Baker, James O'Shea, Tom Rooney, thanks for your remarks as well. More recently, Anna Mazurek, who was named Outstanding Emerging Artist at the SATA Awards in 2018, Rob Van Meenen, who formed Live 5 here in Saskatoon, Gregory Nelson, whom you heard from, who wrote and co-executive produced on the Emmy Award-winning series Orphan Black, Sky Brandon, good friend, great student, who is an award-winning actor and director and is directing the Department of Drama anniversary production of Unity 1918, which is going to be live streamed as part of the anniversary events later this month. Yulissa Campos, who you just heard from, and there's so many others that I haven't mentioned. And their impact hasn't been exclusively on the stage, it's been in the promotion of the value of drama for everyone from here at the Greystone and Persephone and 25th Street Theaters and Shakespeare on the Saskatchewan to Canada's Stratford, where Kim has performed, and so many others, and to so many other venues and theater communities in Canada, and as I say, far beyond it. I've always felt that Saskatoon on its own is unimaginable without the theaters and the stages I mentioned, and many others too, and I'd argue that they would not have existed were it not for the drama department, its faculty, its students, its staff, its alumni, its many supporters. The department has nurtured talent for decades, 7.5 decades, and it's trained and attracted it. If you want a testament to that, read Dwayne's book, Emrys Dream, or Henry's extraordinary Barcelona is in Trouble. And if you're on this call, Henry, you know that I think that's one of the greatest, funniest, and most wonderful books that I've read in a long, long time. And I want to put in a special word for the Wachitowin program, a first of its kind, and the many who are behind it, including Carol Grey Eyes, who you heard from and I hope is on this call as well. If you are, hi Carol. Congratulations to everyone who has made the drama department a 3/4 of a century success, and to its current faculty and students and staff who continue Emrys Dream. and let's start planning for the 100th anniversary soon. I want to turn to the main event, and I'd like to welcome alumni Jeff Rogstad and our special guest, Dr. Kim Coates. Jeff's going to be leading a discussion and facilitating our Q&A tonight with Kim Coates, who is joining us from his current filming location in Newburgh, New York. A little bit about Jeff, although a lot to say. He received his Bachelor of Arts in '82 and a drama certificate in '85. He's the news host, producer, and CTV's Saskatoon weatherman, and much more. He was raised in Saskatchewan. He graduated from the Department of Drama only a few years after Kim Coates did. He's performed with Persephone in 25th Street Theaters, Shakespeare on the Saskatchewan. He's a member of the Saskatoon Soaps Improv Group, and he's now celebrating his 30th year in broadcasting, and he joined CTV Saskatoon in 1997. Planet S voters have named Jeff the best weather person every year since 2004. There's got to be some other category. Jeff would be the best person in that as well. And I'll just slip in that I have at times brought guests to the university, speakers and visiting researchers and so on, to be interviewed by Jeff. And I've got to say, those interviews were the most informed and compelling interviews. And when I brought authors such as Alan Lightman, for instance, I remember very well, Jeff had read many of his books, and the interview, as I say, was a very informed one. And I remember so many writers commenting on that to me after Jeff had interviewed them. And joining us from Newburgh, New York, is Kim Coates. Kim graduated with a major in drama, BA in '81. He's an alumni of Influence Award recipient from the College of Arts and Science. That was in 2009. He received the university's highest honor, the highest honor that we can bestow, which is the honorary doctorate, in his case, an honorary Doctor of Letters degree in 2017. And I'll run through just a few of the roles that Kim has played. I think you all know many, if not all of these. He played Stanley Kowalski in Streetcar on Broadway and the lead role in Macbeth at Stratford. He's been a fixture on film and television screens for more than 30 years. He's appeared in more than 65 films, including Oscar Award winners Black Hawk Down and Pearl Harbor. The FX hit series Sons of Anarchy propelled Kim into the spotlight for his role as Tig Traeger during its celebrated 7-year run. Recently, he wrapped up seasons 1 and 2 of Bad Blood, starring as Declan Gardner for Rogers Media Netflix. And for season 2, Kim took home the award for Best Performance by an Actor in a Continuing Leading Dramatic Role at the 2019 Canadian Screen Awards. Recently released films include Kim's good friend William Fichtner's directorial debut, Cold Brook, and the Sony horror thriller Fantasy Island. And I just wanted to add that he made a remarkable return with his daughter Brenna to the stage as Rooster Byron in the play Jerusalem to rave reviews in Toronto in 2018. He next appears in the independent feature films See For Me and Neon Lights, and the upcoming Snapchat digital series, Action Royale. He has recent recurring roles in the Canadian police drama series, Pretty Hard Cases, and the 5th season of the vampire thriller series, Van Helsing. He can also be seen next as Frank Sturgis in the upcoming HBO series, White House Plumbers. Jeff, Kim, welcome, and I turn things over to you guys.
Wow. Like, wow. Do I start, Jeff? Do you want to
No.
start, Jeff?
Oh, I was going to see, if you could help me with my backed up sink since you're a plumber. So, I guess that's not going to happen. So you Dr. Stoychev covered off a lot of. See, I had an opening bit, but it's like.
Oh, you go ahead, Jeff.
No, it's done.
It's done. You do your opening bit, Jeff.
Oh no,
go right ahead.
It's done. All I was going to say is, so you're not a plumber, but you're going to be in a movie about plumbers during Watergate, the so-called plumbers. But you are a doctor of letters. And so tell me, What was that like when you got the call? I don't know if you got an email or did Dr. Stoychev phone you up? How did you find out you were going to be honored by your alma mater?
Well, thank you, Jeff. I must say that my president, Peter Stoychev, and I have exchanged cell phone numbers. So we're on the up and up. We as Kim Coates get a call from the president to say, listen, we're thinking about kind of. We've talked to Murray Totland. We've talked to a few other big shots in Saskatoon. What do you think about a little bit of an honor called the Doctorate of Letters? I was honored. Come on, Jeff. You know, I mean, it's something that you when you go to University of Saskatchewan, the greatest university in the world, and I'm not farting around saying that, it really is on so many levels, to be able to come back and put the gown on and have everybody there and give the commencement speech to the kids and be in the Centennial Auditorium, even though I don't think they call it that anymore. I'm like 107 years old. I forget what it's called now. Jeff, what's it called now?
It's called the TCU place.
The TCU place. So I was
Yeah.
there, and Catherine was there. My mom was there with her little high voice, talking like this, so proud. It was an honor. I try and anyone who asks me about it, I just go, it's an honor, and thank you so much for that. It was a great day.
Well, you know what? And that's a Doctor of Letters. Hopefully you can work up to a Doctor of Numbers. It'll be fantastic.
Can I just say, Rogstad, like seriously, when Moira was saying, Moira was going, okay, so we have 3 stages of the drama department. We got and then stage 2, and then stage 3. You, my man, are definitely stage 1. You graduated in 1937, even though it started in 45 or 46. You look fantastic for your age. I'm stage 2. Graduated in 81.
Mhm.
You and I look so good for who we really are, Jeff. Well done, son.
Well, you know what? I'm sure it's all that pure living, you know, as Henry Wolf used to say, clean thoughts and deep breathing. So pure thoughts and deep breathing.
Wasn't it
That's what
great
it
to
is.
see Henry and Tom and Carol and all the peeps come? I mean, come on, what a lot of love this drama department has brought upon all of us. What a beautiful beginning that was.
Yes, it most certainly was. Although I saw it in Tom Rooney's background to guitar, Peter Stoychev's background to guitar. I think you and I should have had guitars in the background just to be in the gang.
Peter sends me his nails that he finally has to clip off after like 22 years. He sends them to me. I've got him in my bathroom right now.
Okay, that's enough information. Okay, let's just jump back to the beginning here. When you decided to come to the drama department, set foot in the beloved hangar building, was it a fluke? Was it a plan? How did you come to the drama department?
It was a total fluke. I was able to have one elective. I was going to be a history teacher. I wanted to teach. I wanted to be a teacher. I was, a Safeway guy making $2.07 an hour in grade 9 and living with mom and dad at 216 Ash Street. And I knew I wanted to go to college, and I did, and I wanted to be a teacher. So I had an elective, and I looked it up in the dictionary what elective meant. It meant you could really take anything, really. And so I flipped through a book, a catalog, and it stopped on D. And I went down the D's. This is a true story, Rogstad. I'm not farting around. And I went to drama, and I went, wait, I could take an acting class? So I took an acting class. And that acting class was in the hangar building, which is now no longer, but back then. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Every time I would walk to that building twice a week to take an acting class, which then progressed and accelerated into more and more until I majored in drama. That building propelled me, little Kim Coates, into something that I was going to become for the rest of my life. And I think every kid that goes to that university, or any university of learning for that matter, if you can actually say that you look forward to making those and taking those steps to the math department, to the trigonometry department, to the music department, whatever department it is, and in my case, it was drama, and I couldn't wait to get there, maybe you should listen to your heartbeat. Maybe you should listen to what your heart is telling you. And I did. And 4 years later, I graduated from from that beautiful school, and it propelled me for the rest of my life.
Now, in between you stepping foot and graduating, there were some pretty significant high points. And I'm going to jump over to one because, and we'll come back to, you know, some of your favorite plays that you were in. But I know for a fact, I did my research.
I know for a fact.
Creeps was a very special production because not only was it a solid production, but it went over to Edinburgh to the festival and was an award winner. How important was being a part of that cast to you in terms of making a decision about your life's work?
That was it. That was the deal. When Tom Kerr said that David Freeman had written this play that had been done in Toronto. Is that me talking to you, Jeff?
No, that's you. Oh no, that's sorry. I'm in the newsroom. That's the
Good. You tell the
scanner.
newsroom that we're on live, Jeff.
It's a scanner. It's a scanner.
You tell them that we're on live. Jeff Rogstad's on live, for heaven's sakes.
How can you hear that?
Sideburns, 1972. No, Creeps with David Freeman. Tom Kerr said, we're going to take this play with Canadian Gothic over to Edinburgh, and we're going to do them both. And I got to come along. And to play a paraplegic in a wheelchair with Dwayne Brenna, Jim Guido, Aaron Fry, Glenn Cairns, Beth Licheron, Bill Dow, stunning cast. And we went over there, bro, and we won it all. We won the Fringe first. We won it all. And I'll never forget winning the award for best play and getting on that play and coming back through Winnipeg and having these guys at the airport rip through my entire luggage, and I didn't care. Take it all. Take my underwear, take my socks. You can't take that award that we all won away from me. I made the flight. We got back to Saskatoon, and we were like, that drama department made another little niche, like another little ring on the ladder of getting higher and higher. And I knew when I came home, I needed to be an actor. I needed to be a professional actor, and I did. And it was because of Creeps. It was because of that experience around the world in Edinburgh. And yeah, it was big.
Well, and I know you just mentioned Professor Kerr, Tom Kerr. I know, speaking to Dwayne Brenna about sort of the history, the arc of how the department sort of, you know, changed and evolved over the years, that when Tom Kerr came along, it was going to be much more of a conservatory style of teaching actors to act for the stage, not for sort of a sideline or to help you in another world, either teaching or being a lawyer or whatever. No, to go out there and be on the stage. How important was that TK to your studies? Yeah,
Tom passed away last year. He was my mentor for sure. And I must say that Persephone and 25th Street House, to a little jock boy like me from Newtana Collegiate, getting into the arts, and then all of a sudden discovering Ionesco and Tennessee Williams and Shakespeare and what a soliloquy meant, and to feel and to grow into these parts. It was everything. And Tom was huge for us because he let everybody know that we could be the best. And when you brought in people like Susan Wright and Eric Schneider and Janet Wright and John Wright, who came back home to give back to the university, Ray Wallace, we can go on and on. There was no other drama department in the country that had people like that who wanted to come back and teach a class for 2 months, maybe 3. Victor Young, who played Romeo, I played as Balthazar, to come back as a pro, to come to Saskatoon, which, oh, by the way, is such a great city. I know I'm biased. I know I was born there. I know. I get it, people. I get it. But it's an incredible city. Peter said it so beautifully before. It's a beautiful city of arts and sports and people and the river. My corporation is called 5 Bridges. It's now, what, 7 or 8 bridges? Like, we've just got bridges. It's a great city. And Tom Kerr knew the secret recipe, which was to bring in people like Henry Wolf, to bring in people like who were world-renowned artists, actors, to teach kids like me who just wanted to watch and go, wait, can I do that? Can I do that? And well, I guess I have. And what a great happenstance to be from Saskatoon and go to U of S, because happy 75 years, baby.
Now I understand Romeo and Juliet was your first production
Yeah.
I understand it had kind of an interesting opening night.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeff, you know, I mean, even though you were in the first third that Maura said, you graduated in 1942, you look
Mhm.
fantastic. You'll remember, being younger than me,
Mhm.
that opening night in the Arena Theater at the Greystone Theater at the Hangar Building. Greystone had about 300 seats, beautiful. Couldn't get a ticket. Opening nights, forget about it. The arena had about 99, right, Jeff? Right? About 99?
Yeah,
Something like
about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Romeo and Juliet, opening night. I'm in leotards, jock boy. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I've memorized my lines. I'm playing, Romeo's servant. And 5 minutes before opening, everyone's sitting down. The door bursts open, and this is what I hear. I'm in the vom, waiting to make my entrance because Balthazar is in the very first scene of the play. Code C, code C, code C. I take my sword. I zip around the corner. There's 6 or 7 of my buddies who are on the football team, University of Saskatchewan Huskies. They can never win it, but I love them. And they come around and they code. I'm going, hey, what are you doing? It's opening night. Stop talking. And they went, whoa, cool, dude. We got you. Sorry. And I just backed away. So Balthazar in his tights and my sword, I scared those football players right out of the theater.
We've got a lot of ground to cover here, but are there a couple other shows that really come to mind that you did at Greystone that are favorites or certainly memorable?
Well, so Romeo and Juliet was my first one. West Side Story was kind of like a musical, which proved to me that I might actually be able to sing. I don't want to say I'm a triple threat like you, Jeff, but I could actually sing. And then that last year with Carol Gray Eyes, playing Proctor in The Crucible, Bernie Litko in Sexual Perversity in Chicago, which I know you did, to be able to play leads. I did 25 plays, Jeff. My daughter Brenna, who went to New York Tisch Acting Academy, NYU, graduated with honors. She, won an Obie and Drama Desk Award on Broadway for a play called The Wolves. I'm sorry, I'm bragging, but she is my daughter. I mean, to be able to do 25 plays in 4 years at that university, like I did, it's unheard of. And that kind of experience, I'll never forget.
Now, it was being in West Side Story the only experiences you had in the drama department singing? Because my understanding is you had a band, or you were part of a band.
Oh, yeah, baby. The Humpin' Rabbits. The Humpin' Rabbits. Peter, sorry, it's the truth. The Humpin' Rabbits. We had T-shirts made. I couldn't really play an instrument, even though I made up a song. It was called The Drama Building, which I sang at that time for my 4 years at the Drama Building. This whole thing started out 4 years ago. I thought to myself, what now? I was tired of packing bags. I wanted to quit. So I sat my mom and dad down. Anyway, I'll quit now. But that song in front of 125 drama peeps standing, Jeff, I got a standing up.
And why wouldn't you? If it sounded lovely, I can't wait. I'm waiting for more. I can't wait for the EP to come out. So you've got this this canon of work you've done as a student actor. At what point in that process, or maybe it's not until later on, at what point do you say to yourself, I can make this my career, or at least I want to try to make it my career?
Well, I knew when I came back from Edinburgh that I was going to be a pro actor. I was definitely going to be equity. I was going to definitely be an actor, and here we go. And that's what happened. And I left Saskatoon. I had my equity card. I went to Toronto because Susan Wright said, you need the late Susan Wright, my girl, my mentor at the time. She said, you have to come to Toronto, meet Gary Goddard, who's gone now too, but one of the biggest agents in Toronto at the time. And Gary Goddard said to me, took me on right away. And he said, you're like, wow, you're different. You're kind of tough. You're kind of like a sports guy. Susan said, you're really talented. So let's get you into film right away. And I went, no, more theater, more stage. I needed to do more stage. And that's what I did. I turned everything down, every audition I just did more theater. And by the time I had stopped the stage, in 1990. I went right from Broadway Streetcar to Larry Lillo's performance of Streetcar in Vancouver. And that's when Hollywood discovered me with The Last Boy Scout and 65 movies later. So I knew kind of what I was doing. I really wanted to become a really good actor, the best actor I could be. And for me, that meant theater. For me, that meant drama on the stage, which is what I learned at the University of Saskatchewan. And it all worked out.
Well, it worked out very well. Now, we're going to come back to theater later on, but it's interesting you bring up The Last Boy Scout, because there seemed to be, I won't say it was a game, but certainly something that many of your friends and acquaintances and people who know who Kim Coates is observed as like, will Kim get to live till the end of the movie? It seemed to be a pattern that you got killed early on or halfway through or almost you made it to the end. Almost.
No, there's a guy in England, Jeff, who made a tape and called it Kim Coates' death scenes. I think I've probably died in more movies than maybe anyone other than Michael Caine. Like, honestly. And I've seen it once. It's a lot of death there. A lot of really good dying, if I might say so myself. Yeah, man. Look at these cheekbones. Look at these eyes. Look at that crooked nose from hockey busted up. Leafs lost last night. I can't even breathe anymore. I mean, the pain of that whole thing. But I'm all hockeyed out. I'm all sportsed out, and my face is what it is. Kevin Costner always said to me, Coatesy, I want your parts that you get to play. And I'm like, Kevin, I want the money that you get to make. And so we became, best friends from that. I think some of the best parts ever written are for bad boys. I play a lot of them. I think they're very convoluted and you get to get right into them and figure them out. And there isn't a bad boy alive that doesn't think he's a good boy deep down. I say no to so many of those parts that don't interest me. That might be too one way of bad, but I love comedy. You know that about Rogstad. You know that about me. I know. Love comedy.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because it's one of the things that I think is a sort of a hallmark, if I can use that turn of phrase, with regard to your Tig character from Sons of Anarchy. Certainly an intimidating and dangerous character, but there's also an underbelly of humor that really I'm not sure the other characters have, and you certainly bring that out and certainly add that to the show.
Well, thanks, man. I remember when I got offered the part of Tig. My wife, certainly Diana Chappell, my beautiful wife who's stuck with me all these years. I wouldn't be here without her. She saw me say no to so many television parts I never wanted to play a regular on TV because I wanted to be a film guy. And I was being a film guy, but there was lots of breaks in between making films that you were going, do I be a waiter guy now? Do I have to go back to being a waiter guy? Like, what's going on? To say yes to Tig Traeger was huge for me because Kurt Sutter, the creator, said, come along on this ride, Coatesy. This guy's not just going to be psychotic and dark. He's going to be the moral compass of the club by the end. He's going to be funny. He loves animals. He's going to cry. He's going to laugh. Come along for this ride. And I'm so glad that I did. And because I did, I got to understand, Jeff, that the power of television, the power of a successful television show is something I knew nothing about. I don't care about celebrity. I don't care about those things, which have now come to me because of Tig Traeger. Before that, I was, you're the guy from Open Range. You're the guy from Waterworld. But once Sons of Anarchy came, I was Kim Coates. People knew who I was. So to be a part of that was a big thing for me, and it certainly propelled Diana and me through really great things when we could afford stuff, and I don't know, it was a great thing to say yes to, and it was a big hit.
Well, it's interesting you bring up your lovely wife there, because first of all, I'll say I remember Tom Aramundi and I were sitting beside her at a performance, one of the first performances of A Very Modest Orgy. Which was, and
one
so
of the great plays in the history of Canada.
Well, you know what?
What the hell was that?
Well, it was how you got your equity card, I seem to recall. So there we go. But it's interesting you bring up, sort of the family side of things from the standpoint that, there are breaks in between film gigs. Was there ever a time when you seriously thought about changing careers? Because you and I both know people who are talented performers, actors and actresses, who have finally said, you know what? I'm going to go into teaching. I'm going to go into law. I'm going to go into I'm going to be a weatherman who make a career change. Was there ever a time when you were on that precipice?
You're the best weatherman in the planet, Rogstad.
Thank you.
So, and you get paid $400 million a year. So you've done very well for yourself.
Very well.
I'm not going to fart around here. I'm telling you the truth. I knew that I was meant to be, because of the University of Saskatchewan, an actor. And that's just the way it was going to be. And I knew that there might be moments where I need to waiter or drive a cab or work in a pool hall. That's just the way it's going to be. But none of it scared me. I wasn't afraid of anything. I wasn't afraid of failure. I wasn't afraid of anything. Maybe that was my naivety. Maybe that was my, I'm an idiot. I don't know. But I literally remember my Uncle Mort from Bigger, Saskatchewan, when I was leaving for Toronto. He goes, well, if it doesn't work out, you can come back. And I remember grabbing him by the shoulders and I went, Uncle Mort, it's going to work out. It's going to work out. And it did. So no, I knew that it was going to work out, but you never know how it's going to go. You never know what cards you're going to be dealt. You don't know how much luck you're going to need. You don't know how much weight you're going to have to lose, or who you're going to have to meet, or all those things that come along with those 80s, 90s, early 2000s of being in the industry. But for me, come on, man, green card. I became an American citizen. I'll never give up my Canadian citizenship because it's the most important. To be Canadian is the most important thing to me ever. And no, it all worked out. You need a little bit of luck. You need a little bit of hard work. And I think I had both.
Well, absolutely. You need both. And they both showed up certainly in spades for you. Let's just jump back to theater a little bit. You recently returned to the stage. I think Dr. Stoychev mentioned this, President Stoychev mentioned this, in the role of Rooster in Jerusalem. Hugely successful production, as well as bringing you the Door Award for Best Performance. What was it like to get back on stage again? And I'll follow it up by saying, will we be seeing more of Kim Coates on stage?
In a nutshell, when Philip Riccio and Mitchell Cushman, Toronto producer, actor / directors, came to me with this play, I tried to read, I read it, I didn't get halfway through it. It was too big, too large, too English accented out, too pewsy, too something. I knew I needed to go back to the stage. And so it was Brenna, my daughter, who said, Dad, you have to read the play. You need to read the whole play. You need to do this play. And so I read the whole play and I went, I guess I need to do this play. So she was right. I went to Pewsey, which is just west of London, about an hour outside of London, 5 times during 2017. 5 times. I was lucky enough to go there 5 times. Studied the accent, met the people, went to the bars that Jez Butterworth wrote, Rooster about. He went to these bars and wrote the whole story, the whole play from meeting the real guy. Mickey Lay was his name. He's gone now, obviously. And so Mark Rylanson, I met in New York. We went for dinner. He won the Tony and the Drama Desk Award, the Laurence Olivier Award for Rooster. He passed me the baton. We won every award that you could win, from best actor to director to play to set to ensemble. I think the Dora May of more awards were a little upset that we won everything, but we did. So that's the way it goes. Will I ever come back? I don't know, Jeff. To be able to do Jerusalem with my daughter Brenna was something that's a little bit of a, I'm good now. I checked off that box. Brenna's more talented than me at her age. There's no doubt about it. So to be able to be on stage with her and everybody else, and to have, you couldn't get a ticket in Toronto. It was so exciting. It was great. It was a very, very big thing for me. And I was grateful that they offered it to me, and that I actually didn't die on stage. I could have actually died. It was that exhausting. 3 hours and 15 minutes. It was like, woo.
Well, at least there was no disco balls falling from the ceiling, which happened to Grace
Kiss
Jones.
Me Kate. Good memory, Jeffrey. Yeah, Susan Wright directed Kiss Me Kate with Victor Young and Terry Waterland, and this disco ball fell down in the middle of a scene. And I thought it would have killed somebody. I mean, I certainly would have put a big dent in their head. So we kept the play going. You know, the play must go on, as you know.
Absolutely. You talked about going over to England to work on the accents. I know that's something you've done in the past. I seem to recall that you went to Scotland to work on
accents. For Macbeth.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Tom Kerr took over the young company at Stratford. It was going to be the youngest. I was going to be the youngest Macbeth ever, and I was at 26. And before we were getting into rehearsals, I went to Flores, Scotland, which is on a fjord where King Duncan is from in the story, the Shakespearean story of Macbeth. So I went there and I rented a sword, and I had an apartment, and I went to a graveyard and hung out with some horses and got scared shitless. And I remember being in a bar with 4 guys who, of course, it's 1986, so no one knows who the hell I am. I'm going to play the Scottish guy over, and they went out of good for you. And don't go up there. And I said, well, I'm going to go up to the graveyard. And they said, don't go. But I did. It was a full moon, and me and the horses, we hung out all night, and I fed them peanuts because the guys in the bar gave me peanuts and a little Mickey of scotch. And man, I took some dirt from that spot and brought it all the way back to Stratford, and it was in my dressing room, and we toured it around America for 3 months, and got some of the best reviews, some of the worst reviews you can ever get for a play. And that's exactly where you want to be. You want to be, don't believe the best, don't believe the worst, but just do the best you can. And we had a terrific time. And man, it was like, come on, I'm 26. Marcia Cash was my lady. And we're like throwing each other on the ground and furs flying around, and we're necking and we're doing the whole thing. And people were like, oh, but they never forgot it. They never forgot that production of Macbeth. It was real. It was raw. It was palpable, and glad I was in it.
Real, raw, and palpable. That's you, my friend. There you go.
Way to go, Jeffrey. Thank you, bro.
Hey, I'm thinking on my feet here. You feel like taking some questions? Because I think, yeah, there you go. Hey, look at that. I just got a note. Hey, I'm ahead of my game here. So you feel like taking some questions?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I think I have to take the Q&A box on my unit here. Okay, so this first one comes from Michelle. Hello, I'm just curious if Kim ever goofed off during a taping of Sons of Anarchy. He always seemed like such a goofy, fun guy, and his characters that I've seen are dark and brooding types. Thus, his acting prowess is stellar. But does he crack the crew up and try to keep things light and fun? Conversely, how do you play such a dark dude when you seem like a real goofball?
Yeah, okay. Well, in a nutshell, when you're doing something like Sons of Anarchy, when the scene needs seriousness and, oh, wow, here we go, there's no fooling around. But when the scene doesn't need that, Thea Rossi, myself, Ron Perlman, and Tom Flanagan were by far the funniest dudes on that set. You bet we kept it light. You bet we tried to make people laugh. And that's the only way you get through your day.
All right. Here's another one. This one's from Jennifer Schnell. I'm a huge fan of Shakespeare on the Saskatchewan. Have you played an assortment of characters? Do you have a particular play that you would love to do?
It's funny you bring up Shakespeare in the Saskatchewan, because I left, as you know, Jeff, I might be a little bit older than you, even though you graduated the University of Saskatchewan in 1939. I must say, and you look so good for your age. I must say, I left when the Shakespeare in the Saskatchewan was starting to take off. And I came back every summer to see my mom, my buddies. And one of the plays that I saw with Tom Jackson and Lubomir Mikituk was Othello.
Mm-hmm.
And I have always wanted to play Iago. I think Iago is, and Lubomir Mikituk played Iago. Tom Jackson played Othello. I think that one of the great written parts ever for a male is Iago. And one of these days, maybe I come back and do him.
Well, that's a good one. That's a classic one to do. There's no question there. This one's from Christine Patterson. You mentioned that you'll never give up your Canadian citizenship. Has being a Canadian helped you or provided you with any sort of an advantage or disadvantage in your career?
Oh no, there's no disadvantage being a Canadian. Everyone wants to be a Canadian. I don't care if you're American or Swedish or from the Dominican Republic, you want to be Canadian. I am Canadian. I popped out of Mama Joyce in 1958 with a little hockey stick being handed to me because I was a boy, and you get a little hockey stick. You want to be Canadian. So being Canadian is like every time I work in the States, they all go, "Is it true that you're Canadian?" I go, "Yeah, baby, it's true." So no, it's done nothing but propel my career.
All right, fair enough. This one comes to us from a friend of mine and yours, and I'm so glad that he sent us a question because I've been missing him. Kim, this is from Kevin Moore, first of all.
Kevin Moore.
I know. He says, Kim, Jeff, you have made the drama department in Saskatchewan, your family's very proud. Kim was ahead of me and I had done a noon show. Kim had given me words of encouragement and support. Kim was a class act and very kind, but, and then he puts in parentheses, I can't believe Jeff let me say but. Kim, you're going for the jokes. I love it. Kim, your profession is very hard on marriages, relationships. How did you, I gotta scroll up here. How did you have an enduring love and don't blame the wife, it takes two to tango. So basically, how did your marriage and your relationship with Diana survive?
I get it. I say this all the time because I talk to kids all the time who want to get into the business. And I say, do not ever stop your relationship with, I don't care if you're straight, you're gay, you're single, you're married, whatever your partner is, make sure that they support you. Make sure that they are there for you, because as an artist, everybody who's an artist, from Peter Stoychev to me, to you, Jeff, to anyone who's a painter, actor, writer, musician, you need a best friend. You need a partner who will support you through those times where not making a lot of money, or will that next gig come? Diana Chappell, for me, meeting her at such a young age with all the roller coasters that comes along with, we've been married for, I think it's 106 years now, and two beautiful daughters. You need a lot of listening, a lot of understanding, a lot of support. And Diana gave that to me in spades. And I owe her pretty much everything that I've done, because those early days when I couldn't even get a credit card because I was a waiter at the Nag's Head Tavern at the Eaton Center in Toronto. And I was trying to get a job in Thunder Bay at $300 a week where I could afford, Captain Crunch for breakfast. It all worked out, and Diana stuck with me and stuck with my ideals and stuck with who I was as a guy and never inhibited me. And that's what you need. You need a partner that will stick with you as an artist, because that really helps.
Was the Nag's Head in the establishment where you wrapped up your rating career in a sort of fabulous way?
No, that look at you. How much do you know about me, Rogstad? Do you know everything?
I try.
No, do you know everything?
No.
I think you pretty much do.
I just remember a lot of stuff.
My last hanger-upper of the apron for the waiter was the Yonge Street Diner, which was after the Nag's Head, where I literally rode my motorcycle to work. It was my last day, come hell or high water. I was never going to waiter again. I was going to be, like I said, work in a pool hall, drive a cab. I'll work at a movie theater, but I'm never going to waiter again. I was off to the Neptune Theater for Tom Kerr and doing play after play after play. And I rode my motorcycle there, and I did not ride my motorcycle home. I took a cab home because a little bit of Ryan Cokes were going down that night, and it was a celebratory evening for little Kim Coates to getting into that professional acting gig where he would never be a waiter again, and that's what happened.
All right. I thought there was something along the lines of you took a drink you wanted a drink from every bottle on the back shelf. So I don't know, maybe
I did, but you know that story. That's another night, Jeff. That's another night.
Fair enough then. Oh, and by the way, Neptune Theater, we used to call it Greystone East, but that's a different story.
Oh, that's true.
It's true, yeah. This one comes this comes to us from Lisa Rossum, and she says, "Hi, Kim. Not really a question, but a hi from me, Lisa Lancaster." She says, "Thanks for the flood of memories of my beloved hangar building, Edinburgh Fringe, Stratford, and New York. We were so lucky."
Lisa Lancaster was one of those classic, beautiful, smart, intelligent chick who knew how to run the entire department. We went over to Edinburgh. She ran the whole thing. She told us she was a stage manager. She organized everybody. She organized the sets. She told Jim Guido and me what we were doing. She was key. Lisa, I adore you. I miss you. And those days I'll never forget.
All right. This isn't a question again. This is from John Wright. We both know John. He says, "Hey, Coatsy, it's your old friend John Wright from Edmonton. Just checking in with you."
Wait. Are you kidding?
That's what he said.
Johnny, if you're watching this seriously, John, why will you not return my phone calls? Are you Steven Spielberg? Are you why won't you return my phone calls? I've left messages for you. Like, can you just please give Jeff your number so I can get a hold of you? Please, come on. I want to play golf with you.
Next question comes from Jim Heimbecker. Says, "Kim, was it hard for you not to live as Tig from Sons of Anarchy after the series ended?"
No, not really. But it was hard for me to live with Tig once I was doing it because of certain scenes that were super dark, the loss of my daughter. I left my house in LA to go downtown LA to stay in a hotel room that FX picked up the tab because we were going to film nights. It was very harrowing and really dark. And so there are certain times during any filming that if you are inhabiting that character that you really don't want to go home or whatever. But no, when Sons was over, it was a relief for me, to tell you the truth. It was 7 years. That 7th season was so violent. We were all done. We were all so happy to be on it and what a hit, but we were all ready to go because it was so violent. But I had a pretty good time on that show.
Understandably. We did have a question there from Ted Roberts, and it dropped away, but we'll get back to that one.
Teddy Roberts.
Then I just lost another one. Okay, here you go. Ted Roberts says, "What role did Dr. Coates play in The Elephant Man, or was that after he graduated? And if so, what was his favorite role at the U of S?"
Is that Roberts saying that?
That's what Ted Roberts is asking.
There. I played Ross. I played the Elephant Man's trainer. I had a really bad English accent at that time. My accent's really good now. But I played Ross. I played, the trainer, and I had a toque on and big burly clothes. What a show. Jane Casson was in that. Glenn Cairns played the Elephant Man. What a great show. God, honestly, Jeff, we can wrap these questions up now. I'm sure people want to go home, but Jeffrey, honestly,
I got one more.
But hang on. Honestly, okay. I got to tell you, the thing that needs to be said right now for Peter and Peta and Leah and everybody who's doing this tonight, that department did amazing plays.
Yes.
I saw Equus when I was 19 years old, sitting in the Greystone Theater, 8th row. I'm taking a drama class like we've already talked about. I'm not going to be an actor. I'm going to be an English. I'm going to be a teacher, history teacher. And I'm sitting there and the curtain opens and Eric Schneider's playing the psychiatrist and John Wright's playing the guy, and it's Equus, and Dwayne Brenna's playing a horse. And I'm not joking. I left the theater going, well, maybe this is what I should be doing. That play at the Greystone Theater with Tom Kerr back in the day, play after play after play after play were monumentous. They were unbelievable, and it changed my life. There's no doubt.
It changed a lot of our lives, you know,
Right.
Regardless of what you went into.
Right.
If being in the drama department wasn't a life-changing experience, well, you know, then maybe that wasn't for you, obviously. But I
Right.
think just about everyone who came there had something amazing happen to them.
No
and
doubt.
I hope that was the case. I see some recognizable names here. Mark Sorstad asks, he has indelible memories of you back-checking Maurice Richard in Le Canadien, and he wants to know, what are you predicting for the playoffs?
Well, you know, my Wings are out. My Leafs are out. I like the Jets. I don't hate the Habs. I like the Islanders. I hate the Bruins because Marchant licks people's ears. I could care less about Vegas. They got lucky with all their draft picks. Colorado, being a Detroit Red Wing fan, I've never been a big Colorado fan because of Patrick Roy and Claude Lemieux, so they can just go, but they're probably going to win it all. They're so freaking good. Tampa Bay won it already. Carolina, who cares? There you go.
All right. Hey, you wrapped them up right there. I'm starting to recognize some of these names. Bo Maverick, Mark Melnick says,
Melly!
He says, Coatsy, whatever happened to the great film Elevator Boy? LOL.
Yeah, see, you know, Melly just wants attention right now, you know, and that's the way he works. He's one of my best friends in the world. I see him in Toronto every time I'm there. The guy is probably the greatest teacher I've ever known in my life. He thinks he's a great actor. He's not. He's never been a great actor. He's a good commercial guy. He's a great writer. Melly did a movie called Elevator Man when I was in, I don't know, first, second year university, and Melly wanted to do a little Elevator Man with his girlfriend at the time. And we did. And it was in black and white. It was a silent movie. And I'm telling you what, one of these days on TMZ, that movie's going to be popping up there. And it was Melly's directorial debut. So good for you, Mark Bo Maverick Melman.
All right. We had one from Tammy O'Brien. It's popped away, but the gist of it, she said that she's so happy for your success, but wants to know if you have any Hank stories. The ghost of the drama department. Do you have any stories like that?
The who?
It said the spirit of the hangar building, Hank. I'm not familiar with that story that story either. So
way too many Bohemians back then. Way too many beers. Sorry, Peter. I'm a doctor of letters now. That was back before I was a doctor. I have no idea what she's talking about. But good
there you
luck.
go. Pure thoughts and deep breathing. I did say a note here. These things keep popping away on me.
No,
here
come
we go.
on, come on. Let's wrap it up, Jeff. Like, come on.
Come on. Okay, there was a question there from DK, from David Kerr. And David
Kerr from Winnipeg?
Well, he's from Saskatoon, but he's
he's in Winnipeg now, Dave. Hey, Dave.
I think he was out in Vancouver. I think Billy's in Winnipeg. I don't know. Okay, so he says, you did a lot of work trying to save the film industry in Saskatchewan. Is there any work being done on that to continue that work, trying to bring it back in Saskatchewan?
Well, you know, you can only do so much. I mean, honestly, when we did that incredible rally 6 or 7 years ago, 8 or 9 years ago now, who knows? We did the best we could with the government of Saskatchewan at that time, who knew nothing about what the film community meant to the province. They killed it. So that's fine. They did their thing. They didn't know what, wait, this tax incentive bill is 3 million. What? No, let's just stop that. Not understanding that $3 million bill actually garnered 5.2 million back into their coffers. So that's fine. Today, it's hard to go back. So I just did a movie called Donkey Head in Regina. Agam Darshi, a beautiful actress, incredibly talented, wrote it, directed it, starred in it. My boy, Anand Ramaya, Kelly Ballin produced it. Get ready. This film is going to be unbelievable. We were in Regina, which has this incredible film studio that's sitting empty. Like, if you could just imagine, Jeffrey, all the Netflix, DC, Marvel, they're dying for a studio that Regina actually has. and it's sitting empty because of the unforesight of the government of Saskatchewan 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 8 years ago. So if we're to be so lucky and savvy and smart, the film industry will come back in Saskatchewan like gangbusters, because the amount of money that it brings back in to the coffers, from gaffer's tape to rental cars to hotels to taxes. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. For me to go back home to Saskatchewan was unbelievable. And I will continue to go back and back and back, because the crews are amazing. They know it. I know it. And the people, when they see these movies, know it. So good luck to them.
All right. Well, you know what? I got a couple of things here, because we are going to wrap this up. It looks like the Q&A session is over. So
Cool.
two things. I was right. David Kerr is in Vancouver and Billy is in Winnipeg. He lives, he and Marina Stevenson. They're a couple. They have kids.
Excellent.
And the second thing is, if Jim Guido called you with a idea about doing a play, would you give it serious consideration?
Yeah, come on. I mean, Jimmy's my boy. I mean, when I did Jerusalem, I was really hoping that they called him for some interviews, and he gave some interviews beautifully, but Jimmy never showed up. He never called me. He never reached out, and I miss him. I don't know where he is. But you can only do so much for a friendship. It's got to be 50-50. He's the best director I've ever worked for. And I don't throw that out lightly. He is terrific. He's amazing. I would do anything for that guy, but I wish he would have seen Jerusalem, because he would have been, we would have had a whiskey and Coke, and we would have laughed, and we would have went, hey, good job, buddy.
Well, he is amazing. I've certainly been on stage and been directed by him as well.
I know Jimmy. That doesn't get much better than him.
Nope, that's for darn sure. Hey, and this doesn't get much better for me. We both played Bernie Litko in Sexual Perversity in Chicago. and let me simply say, this has been fun. And as Bernie would say, I call him as I see him. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't so. So thank you for this. This was a treat tonight.
Love you, buddy. You're the best, Jeffrey.
All right, take care. You're the best too. We're both the best. Woohoo! All right, take care. And now I'm going to turn things back over to Moira.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming out and being part of our opening celebrations. That was great. Please check out all the other great panels, events, and reunions that will be coming up tonight, between tonight and June 19th. And just a reminder that tickets for Unity 1918, our 75th anniversary play directed by Alumni director Sky Brandon, go on sale today. So thanks to everybody for joining us. It's been wonderful. Come back soon.